Hi, I'm homosexual Bryan Safi.
And I am feminasty Erin Gibson.
And this is Attitudes.
Gender issues.
LGBT plus issues.
Pop culture.
And not to mention, the world-renowned lady. Can you handle it?
Who's that? Who's the world-renowned lady?
Lady Liberty, excuse me. I'm in New York right now, and when I flew here, I flew into Newark, which is my new jam, by the way. It's so much easier than the JFK or the whatever.
LaGuardia?
I can't fly into LaGuardia because it's more regional. So like LA doesn't go direct to LaGuardia. So my options are JFK or Newark, and Newark's the better airport for me.
I've been there with a cat.
You're kidding. Was
No.
the cat flying the plane?
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Pilot Paws?
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him. Why did you have a cat with you?
When my mother-in-law escaped her Grey Garden situation, she took the Hampton Jitney into the city, and then we all rode together to Newark Airport and with a cat in a basket.
It's wonderful.
Anyway, I don't think I need to expand any more details about that.
I think you've said it.
Yeah, I've said it. I said what I said.
I want everyone to know our lady attorneys are here today. It's Saturday morning. Erin's on a nutty schedule, so our nuts have fallen out of our guts as we try to record these things. Thank you, Sergio.
But thank you for being here on a Saturday morning.
Absolutely. How are you, my love?
I'm so good. I want you to tell me the APC story, because I was telling Bryan, Katie Holmes, this is news that is not important, but Katie Holmes just dropped a line at APC because I guess they're like all friends because they all love casual. They like stuff that looks cheap but is actually expensive.
Exactly. They do love that. That's very basic.
And by the way, APC not making jeans big enough for me.
Really?
Yeah. They don't have shoes big enough for me or every time I go in there, I say, are we into gender inclusive, a third offshoot? A lot of places have gender inclusive lines now. So they'll have men's, women's, and then basically whoever. And I can wear the whoever. I can't usually wear women's stuff, especially if it's a French brand, because it's made for tiny.
I can't either. Yeah. No, like Sandra
made for tiny people.
Anything French, forget it. I could have like a 29
Is no one tall
XL,
in the
and it would
entire
still
country?
cut right here on my shoulder.
No.
No one's
I don't know
broad, no one's tall. It's crazy.
I don't know who it's for. But anyway, I'm on their mailing list because all I can wear them. And then I found out about the Katie Holmes thing. So I told Bryan he should go check out the Katie Holmes, which, by the way, every piece is like the Christie shoe, the Tina top. It's all named after women.
After American Girl dolls.
I guess. Anyway, you said you had an APC story.
I do. And after the story, you're going to soon find out that APC should stand for all punk clowns. Is that a burn or what?
Yeah, it's good. APC, as difficult as 213.
It's true.
Which is true. The LA area code. Yeah.
Listen, why did 213 show up on your caller ID? Do you remember that from the legendary Whitney Houston? She sang that.
Wait, it's just it's not right, but it's okay.
Yeah. And I also love when she goes, all of this time, I thought I had somebody down for Whitney. So good. She's so good.
I went to a spin class and it was a pride themed spin class on Wednesday.
Fun. Yeah.
And it was the best spin class I've ever taken. And when I tell you, these Canadians who can't be bothered to have any kind of energy pushing behind, you know what I mean? Nobody's got the wind at their backs here.
Well, they're not trying to like win the day on a bike that doesn't move. Do you know what I mean? Like that is what people in LA try to do. Is they're like, I'm gonna fucking beat ya, and it's like nobody's moving everybody at all costs. Yeah.
So it was great. It was Break My Soul, Beyonce. It was Kylie Minogue. It was everything. It was everything.
Pink Panther theme.
Yes, because it's of course Pride Month, of course.
Right. Oh, that's so nice.
Purple People Eater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything with
How
a color in it.
Fun. Yeah.
Raspberry beret. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All colors.
The soundtrack to the Green Mile.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Just
so inspiring.
For your climb, for your difficult climb.
Exactly.
They had, but what they did, I'll tell you what animates Canada. When you put on Murder on the Dance Floor and everyone starts thinking about Saltburn in the spin class, these Canadians, there is a river of sickness here. There is a perversion beneath the surface here, because everyone was hyped up and then that song came on. I thought people were going to take their clothes off. I've never seen people more hyped.
People were in.
Who knew Canada had it in them?
Who knew?
Anyway, he also played "It's Not Right, but It's Okay."
That's so fun.
And it ended the class with it. It was fantastic. Anyway, highly recommend that class. Anyway, tell me about your APC story.
So I went when I was in London. I needed a shirt. There was an APC like downstairs at the hotel, all punk clowns. So I went in and I found this great shirt for sale. It was like not that expensive. I mean, it was like APC prices. Don't get me wrong, but it was probably like $100. So in the realm of what I could do. Afterward, I realized that I was not going straight back to the hotel. And so I asked, do you guys have a bag? And they were like, oh, for purchase only, which here's what I'm going to say. Okay. I get it. I get it when you're grocery shopping. I get it. Pay for the bags. I just dropped some money at your store. Give me a fucking bag. Give me a fucking bag. And then
this is LA though, right? Is that what you said?
No, this was in London.
Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm.
Then they say,
Alyssa said, this is your Karen arc.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Fully in the Karen era, the Canera. I'm in Panera Bread right now. Here's what happened. So anyway, so they were like, we have a bag, but it's like a really nice bag. If you want it, it's worth it. And I was like, how much is it? And they said £5, which is like $8 or $9.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to like carry the shirt on the subway there. You know what I mean? Like it just was like, all right, I guess I'll get it. And then he was like, it's honestly so worth it because what you can do. And then he shows me the bag. It is literally a
bag.
Shit plastic tote bag sort of thing, but not.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
Is it green and white?
It was like, I think blue and white, but yes.
Yeah.
One of us is colorblind. I'm not sure who, or maybe they changed the color, but yes.
In LA, they give you the green and white.
Okay. So
maybe it's American versus UK.
It must be. It always is.
Always a fight. Always
exactly.
a fight.
I'm like, guys, you lost, but right now we're losing. Ba, 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 ba. So anyway, here's what happened. So he goes, it's actually really worth it. And I was like, oh, why? And he goes, because it can actually do a lot. And I was like, oh my God, I just maybe there's something inside this bag I don't know about, blah, 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 blah. And he goes,
how old was this person? Was this person 20?
Basically, yes.
I don't like the youth explaining things to me as if I just got to the planet.
Well, so this was the explanation. You can use this bag when you go grocery shopping. You can use it if you need to carry anything, if you need to put books in there. You could pack a lunch in there. And I was like, this person thinks I'm truly not of this, an alien, not of this world, A, or B, one of the dumbest fucks that has ever walked this earth.
And you know what else you could do? When you come back and you're forced to buy another bag, you can put that bag into this bag.
Right. And he was like, you could keep it in your boot, but not, and that's again, translation, because boot for them is trunk. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, well, I wonder why on earth I would walk around with this in one of my shoes. But then I understood.
And then you got it. Well, it does rain a lot there.
That's true. You could use it as galoshes. It was very upsetting.
Why would anybody, by the way, that you put up with it? Someone in Canada tried to explain to me what bats were.
Baseball bats or like?
No, the animal.
Or like flying animals.
I let them go on for a second and I said, do you think I don't know what a bat is?
Right.
They think
we're truly the stupidest people on the planet.
But they're not wrong in most cases, but I will not stand for it. Oh, speaking of, so
please.
Everyone on set is getting a Southern nickname. It started propagating doing my own.
The show Erin works on takes place in the South.
In the South.
Yeah.
But then I was like, it's not fair. This cultural exchange isn't fair. So could they teach me Canadian phrases?
Right.
So I'm here to teach you Canadian phrases, Bryan. Are you interested?
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Like, which one did you think? Do you knew?
Mama lasagna.
Yeah, there's that one. So you already got that one. What other ones? Just so I'm clear where to start. Which other ones do you know?
Turn the light on.
Mm-hmm.
But that means
it means something different.
Absolutely. It means if the water's wet,
It means like no shit, Sherlock. It means no that.
It means no shit, Sherlock.
Turn the light on.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I like it.
Oh, hey, yeah. Why don't you turn the light on?
Turn the light on. Did you ever think of that?
Why don't you tell me what a bag does? Huh?
Yeah. Okay. Tell me some of these phrases. I'm excited.
Okay, ready? Giver.
Alyssa's shaking.
Giver, I want to reappropriate.
Alyssa's Canadian. She's nervous.
Okay. So giver means like she's you give her. But I mean, all the stuff sounds Canadian because you have to say it in a Canadian accent. But it means if
she's
you're
giving, like that kind of
but
thing?
but kind of like that. But it's all bro culture. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make it more femme,
Okay. So yeah, someone says go hard equals giver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you would say oh, Bryan, he's Bryan giver. Giver, Bryan. Go, Bryan.
Use it as a verb?
Yeah. That's what I've heard. Alyssa, you feel free to go hard, Bryan.
Go get
Give her, Bryan. Okay.
I like it.
I would also, if you could put it into drag terms, she's giver.
Wow.
Okay. Send it.
I'm giver. I'm giver. I'm going hard. Okay. What's the next one? Send it.
Send it. Like
put it into print, ship it.
Yeah. It's go for it.
Okay.
Send it. Same thing. It's snowboarding.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but I've heard people.
It. Is it also a verb? Like you
could. I haven't heard it like that.
Or she send it.
If you were okay, so I started using it on set, so someone will be like, "Can I change this word to this word?" And I'll go, "Send it."
Oh, meaning
which means
yes.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I'm also trying to get the directors to say, "Camera, set, giver." Yes, I've been unsuccessful thus far.
I'll be honest with you.
These are Canadians. I'm trying to just get them to do what they already do.
I like all of these so far.
Okay. Don't chirp me. Quit chirping me.
That does sound very, it's like,
are you beaking me? These are all. Yeah. Are you beaking me? Are you chirping me? It's all a lot of bird stuff.
Wow.
Are you
chirping me? Do you say it to a bird? Are you
chirping me right now? You can say it to a bird. I think you say it to if someone steps to you with attitude, that's how you call it out.
Someone
or you're
says
chirping me.
Chirp equals shade. Are you chirping me? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Gosh. Who knew that hockey terms and drag terms were chirp. Right there completely.
Okay. Toques is a beanie.
Oh, well, that I could have told you.
Did you know that one already?
No, that's just a fact, not a phrase.
Okay.
Toques is a beanie.
What
does that fucking mean? What is toques?
I don't know. I don't know what toques is from. Also, I don't remember the denomination, but it's or the currency value, but $1 coin is a loonie and a $2 coin is a toonie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be oney and toonie? Right, we didn't write this.
I'm just yet a visitor here.
Yep.
Going for a
oney and a toonie.
A oney and a toonie and a 3 and a 40.
And a 40. Hit it. Send it.
Sure. Send it. Give her, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Going for a rip.
What does that mean? Means
you're going for a joyride.
Oh, that's fun.
You're taking a trip. We're going for a rip.
I do love the word rip. I like when people say, I don't give a rip.
I don't give a rip. Okay, this is my favorite one. Pitter patter, let's get at her. So chop chop, time is money.
Pitter patter, that's very camp counselor.
Very camp counselor. And then the one that I've been trying to integrate without going to HR, I've been unsuccessful on all these fronts.
I'm nervous.
But because I think I don't imagine. I don't know. I can't contextualize what this would be like to have an American doing. I can't remember. I can't visualize the reverse. It would essentially be someone being like, "Hey, dude, what's up, man?" I don't know if that's what it sounds like. You know?
Right. In other words, like if these are phrases people actually use, or just sort of that's in the.
So there was someone did something that was like whatever. Someone did something that was they shouldn't have done, but we were running behind and it was fine and it got fixed. But then the department head of another department was like peeved because they didn't run it by them. But it was like 1 a.m. It was just like, you know, when stuff, when you're late and also you're shooting at night and everyone's tired and then everyone's just like, can we just go home?
Yeah.
So it was totally fine. Nothing happened. But the person telling me this was talking about how they were like, you know, I really need to work it out with this person. I just want to make sure everything's okay. And I go, you know what you got to do? Get in the parking lot, tarps off.
Oh, shit.
That means shirts off. Time for a fight.
Tarps off? Holy shit. That sounds pretty
Isn't that good?
serious.
Isn't that good?
No, I'll meet you there. Tarps off, though.
No, I'll meet you there. Tarps off.
Tarps
is
off.
this a tarps off party?
Yeah.
Listen, we're having a tarps off party, so obviously no children allowed.
Yep.
This is an adults only tarps off party.
Yep. Tarps off. Send it. Give her.
Pitter
patter. What's the matter?
Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Yeah. A one
Pitter patter. What's the matter?
And a forny. Tops off, bro.
Aren't they fun? But I will say, Alanis, no shade. Sorry, Alanis, don't mean to chirp Canadians. Chirp at Canadians. That's not the way you say it.
No.
I went to an oyster bar last night with Ale, and this bro was shucking
don't tell
oysters.
me he was chirping at you.
He wasn't chirping me, but he said something that
Was he beaking?
He wasn't beaking me. He was, and he wasn't going for a rib.
Did he have tarps off energy?
Yes, he had tarps off energy.
Okay.
He had BTOE, big tarps off energy.
Say no more.
Full tats, everything. Okay. And he said, I said, because he was shucking oysters with no glove on, like just between two towels. He was shucking so many oysters.
Yeah.
And Ale said, how long did it take for you to get so good at it that you don't like stab? Because everyone stabs themselves when they're shucking oyster. Right. It's a really precise thing. And he goes, you know, it's all about precision. It's all about going in there smoothly and not going in too hard. And then he said, and then he goes, I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to say the phrase, and I'm going to say it how he said it.
Okay.
He said, this would be the sexy version. I mean, what can I say? My girlfriend loves my hands. Okay. So in certain, all context barfy, but I understand that on paper, that's this thing a man would say that thinks he sounds sexy.
Sexy, yeah.
But he's Canadian.
Right.
So he said, what can I say? What can I say? My girlfriend loves my hands.
You really said that?
I was like,
the fact that someone, as if you touched a vagina the way you shuck an oyster.
I'm going to say something. The way this man was shucking these oysters.
Was it very sensual?
I bought it.
Yeah.
What I don't like is that I'm a stranger and you're telling me this. And then on top of that, you have the most Canadian accent. It is not a sexy accent. I don't know what to tell you. There's no.
Honestly, I really want to apologize to every Canadian listener we have, because every week Erin finds a new reason to absolutely.
I love it here. I would move here in 1 second. I would move here in 1 second.
I know you.
I just find the accent. I wish there was a twist or something we could do to just like take the nose out of it, you know?
No, I understand.
My girlfriend loves my hands. Oh, yeah? Ice fisherman from 1930.
Very sexy.
I hope you come up here and experience all of it.
I would love to.
Tarps on.
Tarps on. Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, tarps on, guys. That means like everyone's getting along. No, we were tarps on. I had the best date the other night. We were tarps on. I was, the giver, or I was giver.
I was giver. He was
sending.
He was sending.
And
so I'm a giver. He's a sender. If that makes sense. So we're kind of perfect for each other.
Exactly. And then no chirping involved. Everyone acted appropriately.
Now, when the clock struck 11.
Oh yeah.
We had a tarps off situation.
The
tarps were coming off.
Honey, at a certain point, the tarps came off. We were beaking, we were batting.
We were chirping. We were chirping this way, that way.
It was absolutely incredible.
But you know what? He was too much of a keener. So
yeah.
He was giving me too much keener. So I had to back off because it was like,
At the end, I must have misinterpreted the entire thing because she gave me a toonie. And I thought, I'm not a whore.
And then I said, why don't you go for a rip?
For two. Yeah, exactly.
I said, you put your toques on and you go for a rip and you get the hell out of my house.
Exactly.
Take your darts with you.
Yeah. I got to tell you, Erin, this was incredibly educational.
I love it. I have so many, I have a need to learn, Bryan. I have a need to learn.
Do you think it would be sexy if you were in a bookstore and you were reading, whatever book upside down? And Sense and Sensibility. And trying to look smart, but ultimately reading it upside down.
Yeah, my glasses are on upside down. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And everything's wigs upside down, everything.
All of it. Wig is backwards, bangs are in the front.
Your sleeves are around your waist is around your neck. And all of a sudden, someone came up behind you and you just felt like a little tickle on your neck. And it was someone saying, "Pitter patter, what's the matter?" Would that be sexy?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, good.
I love it. Even though the phrase is pitter patter, let's get at her, which is more
even
sexual.
Worse.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Let's get at her.
This is Canadian dirty talk.
I'm good with my hands.
This is Canadian dirty talk. Hey, what's going on? You want to pitter patter, get at her? Oh yeah. Hey, how about you and me getting a sexual prairie fight?
Hey, you're a giver. I'd like to send it. Listen, I'm sorry to distill Canada into just this, but it is. No, when I go there, are you kidding me? At this point, I'm going to wear like a sideways baseball cap. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be so cool when I go because now I know the lingo.
But also when you go to a restaurant, don't ask for the check. Ask for the bill. That's the tell of an American. Can I have the check?
Right.
Speaking of pitter patter, let's get at her. Bryan, we've got all of our lady attorneys here this week.
We'll be
chatting with them afterwards
this week. You can go to patreon.com/attitudes to sign up to become a lady attorney or at any level. It's $5, $10, and then the $25 level for the lady attorneys. Also this week on the Patreon, we're doing this new thing we're doing, which is when people send in videos for us to react to. You could always do that at attitudespod@gmail.com. We release a Vault episode every week, which is one of our oldest Throwing Shade Days episodes that people have requested over and over again. That's also on the Patreon, along with our Q&A.
Watch parties, movie nights, game nights, all on Discord.
All on the Discord.
Should we tell people the news?
Yes.
We're on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. We're giving you a taste of our Patreon video eps with the first act of every new episode on our channel. We're also going to be releasing older Dateline and Columbo episodes a few times a month. All you have to do is search Attitudes Pod on YouTube and subscribe. It's that easy.
That's it. So we'll give you part of the episode for right on YouTube. Also,
Bryan's show is coming up.
You can go to bryansafi.com if you want to see me in New York, July 10th at Joe's Pub or August 24th at Littlefield in Brooklyn. Very fun shows. And yeah.
And so I guess the only thing to do is to pitter patter, let's get at her.
Let's get at her.
If you don't know, now you know. Although you should have known before, but now you should really know that the Christian right is not about families first. It's about turning the U.S. into a theocracy. And there is no finer evidence than the Southern Baptist Convention voting to oppose IVF last week.
Oh, my God.
Now, last
By
month.
the way, the Southern Baptist Church that has been so racked with scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Sexual assault claims. I think
Don't
even.
care.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care.
Horrible, horrible abuse in that system.
Don't care. They don't care if they don't care. They simply do not care. I'll tell you some other stuff they don't care about in my shoe. But last month, the head of the SBC's policy arm sent a letter to the U.S. Senate saying to lawmakers they need to strike down the use of IVF, saying that the practice harms children and women who may be unaware of complications and moral concerns. Now, the hairs on my body, when I hear the phrase may be unaware from a person who is unaware, telling people who are going through the process what they should and should not do, the hair on my body wants to just stand up and get GTFO.
It's basically the APC employee telling me how to use a bag.
It's precisely
you
that.
know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you know better?
Right. Yeah, I know how to use a bag. I have a moral compass in this world.
Yeah, I know how to use a bag.
Oh, it's so infuriating. It's so demeaning.
When a man in a position of power, who I'm just going to go ahead and take a wild guess,
right,
is white, cis, and straight. When someone in a position of power like that is like, these wicked doctors aren't telling you the truth, or you don't know what to do with your own body, or any of this stuff, I want to throw up inside of my own mouth and sew my mouth shut.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
But yeah, that's giving very human centipede.
Thank you. Well, look where I am.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Still, honey, jigsaw's
still in
around
that concrete
the corner. Oh, he put a plant in.
Oh yeah, it was really nice.
That's nice.
Do you have a little like a little mature
He's really grown on you, or vice versa. You and Jigsaw are having a moment.
I said, can I have a plant? And he said, it can only be a monster plant. And I go, I guess I'll have a Monstera then. If we're going to be mid about it.
Come on. Well, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, he bought me the sweater at Maison de Simon.
Maison de Simon, the Seaman House.
I get all of my lilacs I buy at the Seaman House.
That's wonderful.
Okay, well, anyway, on that was last month, and then last week, 10,000 people with the worst haircuts from several decades, just representing all of the worst like 20s, 30s, up to today.
Sure.
They got together in a bleak room at a convention center in Indianapolis to talk about how they could concentrate their power and influence by doubling down on life begins at inception and saying that, begins at conception, which they consider embryos to be that. And IVF, because they employ the practice of freezing the embryos and oftentimes destroying them, that is against the church's doctrine. So if they're going to be pro-life, they don't want that. Now, in their minds, there's frozen babies in a freezer. Mm-hmm. That's what they think. They don't think it's the size of like a fucking
microscopic
a pimple growing over. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. How is this happening right now? Like, how in the world does this shit happen?
Well, it's even scarier because I'll tell you about what their plan is. But
right. So
these delegates call themselves messengers, and their message is very clear. If they are not interested,
so medieval.
Oh, it's the whole thing. There's so many aspects of the languaging around what they do that is soft while they were doing something evil. Like messengers, what you are doing is someone at the top is saying, this is what we believe. Then these 10,000 messengers are going back to their congregations and being like, we believe this now. They're not interested in creating more of themselves, which I would almost be like, why are you against this if you're going to make more of you? And then this is the pure form of control.
Right. I thought like the whole thing was everyone really wanted, almost in many countries, it's like boost the population. Like,
I believe the IVF
for my
thing,
fucking Social Security. Nobody.
Yeah. I believe the IVF thing is the clearest tell of this has nothing to do with white supremacy. I'm sure it has something to do, but this particular issue to me is 100% control. How can we be in control of everyone's lives and how they operate for our will? And that is by control down to the, what do you eat? Where are you going for medical advice? And I'll talk to you about the Seven Mountains, which is, oh, it's absolutely. The other thing is, while I'm having to research this, I have to read about how evangelicals talk about procreation, and it is so barfy. Let me read you 3 quotes. And perverted. So this is one quote. Anytime you get outside the normal means within procreation occurs, the more foreign you get, or the more alien you get from that, and the more you have to consider its moral implications. Or this one. When you divorce it from the actual physical act of sex and you put it in a laboratory, it just becomes further and further away from the normal means within the natural world of procreation. This is the worst one. In the natural, they can say, love the word natural. They love the word natural.
As we all know, though, natural is a bullshit word. Even on food, when they're like all natural, it means nothing.
Unless you grew it in your fucking garden.
Not even then. Like that's one of those words that legally you can use any way you want.
Yeah,
like
it means
organic,
nothing.
you can't use any way you want. It has to actually be grown without hormones or whatever it is. But natural, you can call anything. It could have the most high fructose corn syrup, the most whatever, and you could still say natural because it's just, you feel like it's natural, so you can put it on there. It doesn't actually mean anything.
By the way, those 2 quotes just on their own, you could justify denying people an abortion that has a result of rape, because you can be like, well, that is a natural process. You could. And they do this. That's what I mean. And they do this shit.
Yeah.
This is the worst one. In the natural course of things, we are conceived in a single, unrepeatable act of love between male and female. Not a male and female.
Single, unrepeatable act of love.
Single, unrepeatable.
What's wrong with these people?
First of all, too much pressure on one sex act.
No
Get
kidding.
a fucking life.
Love means having sex once.
Barf. Barf. So we know their political vision is not to be trusted, but let me tell you what else bothers me is their artistic vision.
Oh, I don't like a second of this. What? We're seeing visions of a city? Uh-oh, it's getting praise bandish. Oh, no. Please, no.
That's their video for the convention this year.
Just so everyone knows, it was
it says one choice, one mind.
Where is it taking place? Anywhere?
Indianapolis.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's why they did the racing flag.
Yes.
Wow.
But what does it say?
None of that.
One mind, one voice. That is dystopian.
Also, why does it quote? Oh, I see. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah. One mind, one voice. Terrifying.
One mind, one voice. Corinthians something. How about no thank you? Well, anyway, what is that video saying? There's a zoo in Indianapolis and also sports, and then also we're gonna have someone in Coachella adjacent outfits singing songs and people telling you what the doctrine is so you can go out and be in part of this fucking cult.
It went from like looking, they basically made a 10-story building look like the Empire State Building. Like it was shot as if like, guess what? We're going to paradise, Indianapolis. Not to mention, oh God.
Isn't it upsetting? Doesn't it trigger you in a very American way?
It looks like what my friends would have gone to in like junior high and high school, what their parents would go to. You know what I mean? Like it feels very scary.
It's bleak. And they're so like, look how cool we are. We're so cool. Look how cool this hate is. Look how we made hate look good.
Yeah. We make it look like NASCAR.
Okay. Some people did speak up at this conference against the move. A messenger, this is what I have to call them, from a church in Ohio who has a son born of in vitro and another baby on the way, thanks to this science, said, now I'm going to just go ahead and say I don't love what he said, but at least he said it. He said, I have I have 10 embryos I love. First of all, no, you don't.
Right.
I am for the sanctity of life and for the sanctity of embryos. I am against the idea that this technology is so wicked that it cannot be employed. But nobody cared. The motion passed. I have 10 embryos I love.
Mm-hmm. Also, they are alienating so many people by doing something like this.
People within their own ranks. There are people who were like, I have a grandson thanks to IVF. I have this. They don't care. They're like, rules are the rules, and put up or get out or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put out or get out.
Yep.
There's 13 million members in the Southern Baptist Church, and this event where I'm sure Grindr is lighting up like a goddamn Christmas tree.
Does with these things. Yeah.
It is a bellwether for where evangelicalism is moving towards. So
right.
They have this thing called the 7 Mountain Mandate. Have you heard of this?
No, it sounds fun.
Oh, it's not. It's absolutely not a.
Do you mind if I judge that for myself? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not a vacation.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm on the ridge.
I'm on the rim, honey. They have this thing called 7 Mountain Mandate, which is a Christian mandate for the 7 areas they wish to control: religion, family, education, government, media, entertainment, and business. Now, I'm going to say, I know they have no business in any of this, but they definitely don't have any business in entertainment.
Absolutely not.
They absolutely.
There's just like Getty footage, just like free video.
It was full free stockfootage.com.
Yep.
Obviously saying that IVF is not tolerated as part of their family mountain. They want to rule it all, and I don't think they're going to give up easily. Brett Leatherwood. I don't.
Oh.
Yeah. Leatherwood is a fantastic Grindr name.
Absolutely, because wood means penis.
Yeah,
and leather means like S&M.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
so it's like penis S&M.
I would be intrigued.
Me too.
By Brent Leatherwood, if he weren't the president of the policy arm of the SBC, aka the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission. He said, "It's going to be a long process. It took us 50 years to take down Roe. It may take a similarly long time frame to get people to a place where they are thinking more deeply about something like this. It's
so
okay.
After you're dead, this is still worth it to you. It is. So,
that's all they care about. They said so we have to be patient. It takes time. They will not stop.
Game. They're good at that long game. They really are.
They don't care. And by the way, it's kind of fucking working. The resolution is not a ban, and it won't have any binding impacts on families who are pursuing the treatments. I think it's going to start this weird labeling thing of people who've had the procedure inside the church and the children who are created that way.
That is so disgusting. Because really what that's doing is not only, like you mentioned at the beginning, not only are you attacking family values, truly the meaning of the word family, you're also, it's really an attack on children too. It's really so messed up.
Also, what's going to happen when they are in a counseling session with their pastor asking for advice about having fertility problems, and the pastor's been mandated to tell them not to do IVF? What they don't want is a feminist dirtbag who could give one fucking raw shit about the church now defending their people better than they would. That's what they don't want.
Right.
That I care more about the people having IVF treatments and the way they're being treated by their church than they do.
Yeah.
I hope that keeps some of these motherfuckers up at night. That I care. Here's what else they did at the convention. Besides dust, stale sour cream, and onion ruffle chips off of their overstarched darkers. 100%. They said no to enshrining a ban. Okay, this is kind of complicated to unpack, but I'm going to try to do it. They said no to enshrining a ban on churches with women pastors. Now, it was a narrow no. Basically, they were like, we don't need to enshrine a ban on churches with women pastors. We don't need to enshrine that because we already have ways to kick them out if they have women pastors. So we don't need to actually say it. We already have the mechanisms in place. So it kind of on the surface is like, oh, they want to not ban female pastors, and the thing is like, no, we don't need to do this. This is extra work because we already do the shitty thing anyway.
That's like, I'm reading the Mary Beard has this book, SPQR, about ancient Rome. And essentially, like, Augustus was really the first emperor, but because Rome was a republic, he never said that or called himself that. He just like was like, oh no, it's still like a democratic process. He just controlled all those processes. Do you know what?
That's exactly what these people are doing.
Right. So he never actually said it because that would maybe be foolish. He just made sure that was the case. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what's happening. The official doctrine says that the office of pastor is limited to men. They already have these things to kick SBC affiliated churches who have female pastors out, so they don't need this ban. Now, because here's the relationship between the leaders of the church and the churches. It's called friendly cooperation. So if I'm the head of the church and you are my friendly, and we have a friendly cooperation, and you've got a church in wherever, the Delta, and you want to have a female pastor, I say you have violated the terms of our friendly cooperation. This is what I mean by the soft words, using these soft words. And who it affects most are Black Southern Baptist churches who tend to have women on their pastoral staff. This would be illegal in any corporation. And then on top of that, these assholes are getting tax exemptions and they are discriminated left, right, and center.
Right.
All the SBC is, as far as I'm concerned, after doing my last week of research, is a fucking franchise. It is a franchise.
Yeah.
It is the SBC or McDonald's. And then the female pastors are like the McDonald's franchises who wanted to have purple arches. And then the fucking truck pulls up and then starts pulling all the Shamrock Shake machines.
Right.
That's what this is. It's a corporation. And I emphasis on the poo.
Before you said McDonald arches, for some reason I thought you were going to say Madonna.
Madonna arches? Those are
Just
different.
Madonna. Yeah, that's true. Cone bra. Hey, babe. I love a pattern.
Pitter pattern. Let's get at her.
Pitter pattern.
Is that what you were
What's the
gonna say?
matter? For sure. Are you kidding me? I love a pattern. And I don't mean going into Joann's Fabrics and picking up one of those square things that shows the costume you can make.
Oh,
I don't mean that, although I do love that. I love a pattern.
You're talking about McCall's?
McCall's, exactly.
Vogue?
Oh, I remember seeing those, and then you could open them up, and it was like a blueprint for how to make something, and I was completely fascinated. I was like, instead of someone building a house, why don't they just do this?
And they did, and they absolutely did. There is a huge market for vintage patterns on Etsy right now. Yeah. Massive.
Now, switching from baptism to Catholicism.
Oh, here we go.
The Pope has now used a gay slur twice in a month. He did it the first time where he used the F word, essentially, to describe gay men in the priesthood, or what he thought was gay men. And he said there was too much. This word doesn't bother me, but I think it would bother me if someone else said it who wasn't gay. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I never know whether or not to say it. I guess I won't, because I don't want to offend anyone or give anyone the wrong idea. But he essentially has said, and I'll quote it in a minute, but there's too much F word tree in the church, which is sort of a fresh thing to say. And by the way, like, if he meant it as there's too many fucking assholes in here, then fine, except he didn't mean it that way. He meant it to be.
He wasn't using it as fun drag slang.
No, he was. Exactly.
He wasn't like, or like positive.
Although, what if he was? Because that would mean that he's one of these people. You understand what I'm saying?
Because I don't know how he knows that word. If he, like, I've never heard a straight white guy use that word.
What? Oh, believe me.
No, I've heard someone call.
Heard it.
No, but like with TRY at the end.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think, but I do think at this point, for someone to use that word so freely, it's almost like, true. Well, you're either the biggest bigot in the world or you're a member of the tribe.
One of us. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But I have to say that, because I actually love that word, but it's maybe because I get to use it and it can be fun, whatever. But
well, it's your
and I don't use it in a way to demean somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, I will say the word in Italian because it's Frociaggine or Frociaggine. I'm not sure which. But anyway, he has now used it twice in a month. Now, the first time was about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And the Vatican ended up apologizing for it. And it's very rare that the Vatican apologized for anything. Now, Pope Francis himself didn't, but I don't know if the Vatican releases a statement. I assume he signs off on it or something. But where it occurred was during a closed door meeting of bishops. And by the way, there has been video footage released. I don't know if it was this exact closed door meeting, but other closed door meetings where he says before he starts talking, are there journalists in here? I need to make sure there's no journalists in here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, always a good sign that something good is about to happen.
Exactly. And so, and one time he did this, and the other, I don't know, the other priest or something or whatever bishop who was sitting next to him said, no, there are no journalists here, which is true, but the entire event was being live streamed, which is how we have a copy of that video of him saying, are there journalists here? I want to make sure there's no journalists.
No,
here.
just the entire YouTube community is watching.
Exactly. But that to me is also just a weird, like, what do you need to say? What do you need to say to them that's so out of bounds for the public to hear? Unless it's procedure, unless they're giving out addresses, then I guess I could get it. It was like, by the way, I live at 19 Catholic Street, New York, 10019. You know what I mean? Then I would understand. But he did issue apology. The Vatican did after the first time. He said it was a poor word choice. And when he said it, by the way, in this closed door meeting, all these other priests in the meeting or bishops started laughing. And I'm sure part of it was because they were shocked that he would say that, but maybe part of it was like, fuck yeah, you know?
Yeah.
So the Vatican said the Pope never intended to offend or express himself in homophobic terms. He extends.
Well, then why did he do it?
Correct. And then why did he do it again? He also said,
Pope's gone wild.
Absolutely. They also said to sort of backpedal on this, like he's sorry he said it. He didn't realize it was a slur, which in some respects, by the way, I could sort of get just because I know that Italian's not his first language. I think Spanish is, he's Argentinian. But still, how do you even if Italian isn't your first language, how do you know that word at all? I didn't know that word. You know, like that's a weird word to somehow know.
Oh, that's the word you know.
Right. Exactly. But listen, if he himself, and this is not,
it's like how I can barely speak Spanish, but if you ask me to go to curse in Spanish, I will literally just read you to filth.
I will say,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I can barely ask for like normal things, but if you want me to you want me to be raunchy ass cock face, I can do it in Spanish.
Yeah. We're raunchy ass cock face. That's your
I'm a raunchy ass. Welcome to the stage, raunchy ass cock face.
I will say this though. If he himself is a member of the tribe, and I'm certainly not throwing out accusations, but it would almost be doing him a favor, because if he is saying the word F-wordetry, fresh as fuck, to describe your coworkers, honey, you have nailed it. I love it. I don't know. Someone said the cuntiest Pope.
What's that?
But a source close to the Pope said that the term could also be understood to mean that there's a gay climate in the seminaries, which to me is also like, honey, we could only wish. Perfect weather, tank tops. You understand what I'm saying? We could only
love
wish.
It.
Okay, but anyway. During this second time he said it, he was speaking of the, quote, danger of ideologies in the church, and was talking about, I guess, the need to welcome and accompany gay men in the church, but saying that while we should let gay men in the church, we also need to, quote, exercise prudence in admitting them, which to me is essentially what you already talked about, which is saying, like, here's a nice thing to say, but by the way, we're not actually going to do that.
Yeah,
yes, of
exactly.
course we should let people into the church and gay people into the seminaries, but we should also have really good judgment when we do it. So that's basically saying, I'll say this thing, doesn't mean we're going to do it. You know, it's a nice thing to say, I guess.
They don't care. They actually don't care. It makes it worse that they lie.
Yeah.
Like, just be an asshole.
And then
can't everyone who's an asshole just be an asshole? It would make things so much easier.
He went on to say, I guess to a bishop, the second time he said it, he basically said, a bishop came to me and told me there is too much F-wordetry here in the Vatican. So that was the second time he said it.
Are you sure he didn't say not enough?
Who knows, honey?
There's not enough of it.
But I will say this. If he is confusing the F word with pedophilia, of which there is a lot, I'm sure of, in the Vatican and certainly widespread throughout the church. That's not even an allegation. That is just a fact. If he's confusing those two things, double fuck you. Because those are not the same things. But I don't know what's happening over there to make you think. I mean, I don't understand. So he continued on saying that if gay people should pursue the priesthood, that they should first talk to a spiritual guide or
from
a
the
psychologist.
Church?
Right, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
That is full. That's like, no.
And said that maybe instead of becoming a priest, they could become something else, like some sort of other spiritual leader, because he said that gay men are likely to fail while exercising their ministry. And I think that's also because that gay people are so associated with having sex. You know what I mean?
Because no one else has sex. Yes. Exactly. Go ahead.
But it's so associated with being sexual and having, sex with someone instead of just you being a person who is gay. And obviously priests take a vow of celibacy, which is in its own thing.
But they don't do it. So
no,
anyway.
Of course not.
So everyone lies and then does bad things behind closed doors.
Exactly. Because essentially he's saying a gay person isn't capable of remaining celibate. First of all, I'm sure there are many people who are able to remain celibate, but I think that many people who say they're able to remain celibate, including in the church, it's absolute bullshit.
By the way, would you like me to bandy about the word natural?
Right.
There are things inside your body going, please fuck this person. Please fuck this person, for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just gay people. There's a little man inside everyone's genitals pulling the levers, and you have no control. I know there
are some who don't have that, and which is fine. But yes, I would say.
Wait, what do you mean? There's people who don't want to have sex?
Well, like asexual people, yeah.
Well, sure, okay, but what I'm saying is they're painting this broad brushstroke with just gay people, and it's like,
yes,
come on, dude, no.
Who among us?
Listen. Who among us haven't thought about a sensuous lip touch or a little, snuggly nose thing, or romantic?
Leatherwood. Absolutely.
Yeah, or who among us have not considered leatherwood?
Leatherwood. I will also say, yeah, exactly. Beaking somebody.
Beaking. Yeah. Beaking and chirping.
I will say this to end this. It's less that he used that word and more what his actual stances are about not allowing gay people into things, about fully judging them. And this is how I want to end it. There's no such thing as a cool pope. This is a person who outside says, his famous quote is, who am I to judge? When talking about gay parishioners or gay people in the church, who am I to judge? And everyone was like, wow, what an amazing person. He's blessed same-sex unions. Wow, what an amazing person. But then he does shit like this. Again, forget using the word, which is annoying and horrible that he feels okay to use this in public, not once, but twice within weeks. It's really more the fact that you say, who am I to judge, while judging every single one of them. By saying you are not allowed the same rights in this church as other people. And I fundamentally believe that behind closed doors and even in public, you are not cool. Not one of you has ever been cool. So chill out on that. Okay. But the next time everyone's mom or dad says this pope is different, say it's absolutely not. No pope can be different. It's not how it goes.
There are no cool popes.
Right.
Thank you to all our ladies attorneys who have joined us today. We have a lovely Chatterooski, as they say.
We have our Chatterooski right after this. I've been really talking like Kimberly Guilfoyle lately, and I love it.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And don't forget to go on the Patreon. You can. We're doing a video ep this week. All the worst videos in this new thing we're doing.
Yes, we're doing a watch along.
Q&A.
Not a watch along. Like we're reacting basically.
Yeah, we're reacting.
Okay, I am reacting,
and sometimes we're overreacting.
Absolutely.
And we'll see. And so, yeah, go on Patreon.
Join on Patreon and subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
iTunes.
You can now review us on Spotify.
That's right. We're on YouTube.
If
you want a little taste.
Yep. Especially, listen, TikTok might get banned any minute now.
Yeah.
So find us on YouTube.
Let's go to the original source.
Let's go to the place. Let's go to the exactly. Eden.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.